Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining me here tonight. We are going to hopefully finish our little block that we're working on for the Splendid Sampler 2. We are working our way through this book. I think we're just over halfway through. There's 100 blocks total in this quilt, and we should count again. I think we're on like 55 or so. But we ran out of bobbin last night, just at the end of our time here. I did wind some more bobbins, so we'll be putting those in. So thanks for joining me here. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. I'm here for about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way. So, all right, like I said, we are getting done with our Splendid Sampler 2 block here. I think we're in good shape. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't finish tonight. So we'll do that, and then maybe work a little bit on our leader and ender project. Get some more pieces done with that. So let's get cracking. All right, hello everyone. Nice to see you popping in on YouTube and Facebook here. So this is where we left off. We have all our pieces kind of laid out here. Yep, so we have row 1, row 2, and row 3 going on, and we're trying to like get all these points to match right in the middle there. So that's the plan tonight. We do have this one ready to go and clipped. We started sewing it, and then that's where we ran out of bobbin thread. So I have my bobbin here, and I thought we just thread it. So, like I said, I don't really have a good bobbin winder, so these are all pretty wonky. Like, look at how angled they are. I mean, that's not great. I'm hoping that doesn't mess up my tension. Gosh, I mean, I really should maybe invest in a bobbin winder. So I don't know. It might be time. I'll have to check some of those out. So let me know if there's a certain brand of bobbin winder. If you guys use a bobbin, like a dedicated bobbin winder, let me know what you think about those. All right. I remember this took me ages and ages the first time I did it, but now I got it all figured out. All right, so I just put the cap on. I actually have to rethread this guy too, so I'm just gonna do that real quick here. All the mechanisms for this are on like the tension wheel, and the arm are on the side here instead of the front. Ugh, I'm remembering that this is a pain. So I wound the bobbins. I did not oil or clean anything yet, so that does need to happen. It's time to, I mean, I'm seeing fuzz everywhere. It's definitely time to oil and clean it, and then I'll also replace the needle at the same time. But I got the bobbin done, and I thought that was good enough for right now. One project at a time. I do have a towel out here to lay this down on to oil it. So I don't know, maybe we can clean it up and oil it tonight yet. We'll see. All right, but we're good to go. So that was easy. Let's get our first piece in here. I think we'll just start. Normally I'd get a leader to put this on, but I think we'll be fine just with this. All right, seems to be sewing. This is where all these stitch lines where we ran out of bobbin, and I was just sewing nothing. All right, this one I don't have to match anything up, so I can just lay it on top and sew. mess going here. All right, so then here is our last one here. So now this is where I have to match up, ideally, this point here with this point here, and then the rest of this is within the 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to first put them right sides together, and then I'll get my pin. I'm using the pin method of doing this. So I'm going to stab right through where those seams meet, and just gonna check on this side if that's where the point is, and yep, my needle's right at that point. And then I'm going to go right through the point here that I can see on the front there. So those are the 2 points I want to match up. I'm just going to get my needle in there. Then I'm going to kind of line up the edges. And I want my needle to be straight in both directions. If it's this way, the fabric is going to be shifted, like this top piece will be shifted this way compared to the bottom piece, so I want them just nice and even. There's also seams to be nested here, so that's helping us as well. Okay, I need this to be straight this way too. I also want my edges to be straight. All right, I think we're pretty good there. So I'm going to put a clip right in that seam there, and then I can remove my pin. But our seams should be matched up now. That's the hope, at least. Our little points, I should say. We'll see. And I'm going to try and stitch right through that angle there. All right, tonight I'll get a leader because I've got lots of bobbin thread now again. All right, let's snip these all off the machine and let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm also going to snip off these little threads that were on top. All right. All right, so we did a lot better. We did a lot better on this side of matching up all the seams than this side, but still not too shabby. We still get that diagonal line going there. They're just not all quite so perfectly matched. This one didn't have any to match. And let's see how we did here. Ooh, that one looks real good. So that point looks great. Both of these points I think look really nice. This is the one that I just clipped from last night. I probably should have repinned it just to make sure. But all right, we need to press these. So I'm going to press these ones out. I'm looking at the instructions for this. And these seam allowances in, and then this one out again. And then the seams will nest. But we have more points, a whole pile of points to match up. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 points that we really want those. In theory, we could do the needle method for each one of those points. We'll see how it goes. Let's press first. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gets daunting when you get too far ahead of yourself. Okay, so this, these two I go outward. So I'm gonna just get one side, I guess. A lot of seams happening in here. Getting pretty thick. Alright, I was going to do them both at the same time, but they're a little finicky at this point. Lot going on in 6 inches. What are my pins called? I don't quite remember, but they're the ones with the silicone tops. and I think there may be even clover. I would just do a search for silicone top pins, and they'll probably pop up. The neat thing is, I could run those underneath the iron, and they won't melt or anything like that, so that's a bonus. Okay, so that's our bottom one. Alright, that's going out. Get this fella nice and flat. Got some stray threads. Alright, that's the top. Now this one, the seam allowance goes towards the inside. So opposite what we did for the top and bottom. Oh, magic pins. A few people on YouTube think they're called magic pins. That could be. I don't remember. Should have kept the tag with it, I suppose. Alright, so that's that. Now we'll take the one side and we'll go ahead and try and match up those four corners here. We'll go do this over here by the machine. So I might need a few more pins. Actually, I might need a few more clips. I'll use the one pin, but I'll clip all of those points when we're done. So the bonus, though, is that we are nesting the seams. So the seams are in the opposite direction from each other, so that should help us out. Let's see. I think I'll start in the middle and work outward. So we'll go through that point there. Alright, that looks pretty good. And that goes through this point right here. Alright, so I'm going to kind of nest the seams now too. I think that'll help. Alright, now let's straighten this out. Alright, I think that's good. Let's do this one. Okay, looks good. Again, you don't really have to do this. You could just sew straight across the seam. You might not get them quite as perfectly placed, but it'll be pretty close still. Whoop, that's a floor clip. Okay, let's get this last one over here. Might as well do it. Pin them all. I'm halfway there. Ooh, I kind of came in that one funny. Yeah, I'm through the seam allowance, kind of weird there. I'm going to try and redo that. There, that's better. Yeah, I think we're pretty even. Clip. Ah, one more. Lost that one to the floor, so we'll get this one out. Okay. Full concentration mode tonight. Alright, let's give it a go. first one. I'm just going to kind of hold it there with my stiletto. I'm aiming for that point where those seams collide, where they join. Same here. You can hear it chunking through all that fabric. There's a lot of fabric in these seams. Whew, okay. I feel like I had to hold my breath for that. Let's get more leaders out. All right, let's see how we did right here, and then look at the other side, or the bottom. And those points look pretty good. So we're looking at where these connect, these here, and that, all that there. I think once we have that pressed, it'll look really nice. Maybe a hair off on this one, but not too shabby at all. Ooh, nice. All right, so we're starting to see our little shapes come together too. We got this little kind of these arrows on here, pretty subtle, but I like it. All right, let's rotate that around, and we'll do our last little bit here. So again, all those points have to match up like what we just did. And I mean, it went so well last time with the pinning. I think let's just let's keep on with this pin method. Oh yeah, so I can't read that far away. Evilise, let me know if I'm saying that right, said I never thought of doing it this way. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I learned this way when we were working on the first Splendid Sampler. I think someone mentioned it here. I learn everything from you guys. I am just relaying what I learn from what you guys say. So I think one of you guys mentioned doing it this way, and it works great for foundation paper piecing, and it works good for this. So now here's a case where it's going to matter. So I have this nice and straight, but my seams don't match up here, but it looks like my seam allowance is pretty small here. So I think by me having this pin straight, I think we're going to do it, it's going to end up being together, even though my sides aren't quite together. So it's a little odd. So I'm going to clip it right there. Even though, like I said, the sides don't really match up, we're going to trust the pin on this one. I mean, this is awfully putsy. You know, if you just want to get her done, then just sew across. But yeah, I mean, it did turn out really nice. Okay, match it up with that point here. Okay, let's get that feeling straight. See, now it looks, I'm definitely more in line with the seam here. So maybe it was just that one little seam that was off, because now we're kind of back together how we should be. So I don't know. I got sewing a little goofy somewhere along here. It'll be interesting. I'm curious to see what this side ends up being like. Right through that point. Now the seam allowance seems even bigger, so I don't know. We might be sewing at an angle here. Kind of wacky. Okay, I still really want these to nest together, though. I suppose they are. Yeah, this one feels a bit more awkward than the opposite side, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It does seem like it's going at an angle. Alright, through there. And let's get it right there. Alright. It's all looking pretty straight, I think. Alright. Let's give it a go. Okay, let's move that first one. Fling it into the air. Okay, I'm aiming for where those seams cross there. Those sew lines cross. Chunk, chunk, chunk. All right, let's get a leader and see how we did. That's it. That was the last seam. I got all into the pinning of it all that I wasn't even thinking about that we're going to be done with this block now. That's exciting. Oh, lost my pin to the floor. I better pick that up before I lose it. And it's funny, it was like right next to the clip, so everything is falling and bouncing in the same way when I drop it. Oh, I gotta get this guy off. Alright, so this is the one we just sewed. Let's see how we did here. Ooh, looking pretty good on this side, too. Yeah, dang, that looks really good there. Same with this side. Yeah. Looks good. Looks great. Alright, let's press this. It looks like we press these towards the middle. We'll see what it looks like. All nice and flat. We'll look at those seams again. This is quite the block. There's a lot going on in here. Look at all these seams back here. Some simple units, those half square triangle units and the flying geese, but dang, in such a teeny tiny space. I mean, this could be a whole quilt, right? Like if you made your squares and your shapes big enough, I mean, this would be a beautiful, just one giant block quilt. Ooh, I kind of want to do that now. I would love to just go through the Splendid Sampler again. Gosh, now this would be a way to use up fabric. Go through the Splendid Sampler, but make every single block quilt size. So, like, make them all like 80 inches by 80 inches instead of 6 inches by 6 inches. That would be a deal. All right. I think that looks awesome. So, from far away, you can definitely see you got this kind of outside diamond going with this gold. And then you just have little details in. And then up close, you can just barely see that, I don't know if you guys can really even tell, that I have a cream, barely, and this white. I haven't hardly used the cream a lot in this quilt, so I wanted to start using that again. It's so close to the white that I don't think I've been, like, using it really. But yeah, so we do have, like, some little subtle arrows in here, and the fun little squares in the corner. That is actually 4 triangles making up that square. Yeah, that is a finished block, and that means I can also cross it off of the list. So here are the examples. here is ours, kind of for my blonde quilt. We're calling it the blonde quilt. All right. I am literally going down the list here. Let's see, do I have a highlighter here? No highlighter, so I will just cross it off. So we are done with that one. Okay, what is next? We got the country star next. I'm going to just count this up really quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So yeah, 55. We got just 55 done. Okay, Country Star, page 116 is next. I'm literally just going down the list. I'm not even choosing anymore. I'm in the get it done. Let's just go in order. Oh, dang, this one looks intense. So here we go. Here is our next one. Is this foundation paper piecing? That is what I'm wondering. It sure looks like it. Yeah, foundation paper piecing. So, my guess is we have a template in the back here somewhere that we'll have to find and make a whole pile of photocopies for. So there's there's a whole pile of sections. Let's just take a peek. So it's on pattern sheet 3. Okay, how do we know? Okay, so pattern sheet 1, 2, okay, so it's in this section. Pattern sheet. So these pattern sheets come with the book. Oh, good. It's right here. So this is what we need here, and it looks like, wow, okay, we got a bunch of pieces. I'm assuming we need 4 of each of those. Oh, yeah, so it says, oh, you guys, this is going to take a while. There's a lot of pieces here, so make 4 copies of each. So we're going to have 12 pieces total. And so, I mean, we thought this was a lot of pieces in a small little space. But this, yeah, we're going to have a whole lot. And it looks like there's some points here, so we may be doing the needle technique again, just to make sure some points line up. Hooey! All right, we're making it through. So I will have to make 4 photocopies of this, and when I do foundation paper piecing, I do it just on normal, printer paper, copy paper. So you can go ahead and do that if you want to work on this. Just make a photocopy. 4 photocopies of this. We are going to be sewing directly onto it, so you're going to need the multiple copies. But all right, that'll be next time, though. I'm not going to start that till next month, actually. I'm going to just stick this right in here. Because tomorrow, we're actually going to start embroidering. We're kind of... this month, since there's the holidays and all that, we're not doing everything in our normal order. So I'm actually going to... These are our embroidery of the months. There's 2 different ones. There's like a Christmas one and then just a general winter one. There's patterns and bundles for each of these through the rest of December. And what I'd like to do is a couple fun little projects between this week and next week of like the little icons. I'm not going to stitch all of them, but I thought we could take a few and make some fun projects. Like, I think it'd be neat to make like a little Christmas ornament. Like, what if we made a little ornament, maybe it says Merry in it, and then we have like we can pick our icon. So we could stitch the text and Merry, and then we could put like 2020 on it. So it could be like a Christmas ornament. And then I'd love to make some gift tags as well. So maybe we can work on those 2 projects. The gift tags, again, I would just like to pick one feller and stitch it onto like a rectangle. and make an area where you can write to and from, where you can write in there, and then maybe we'll stitch it onto some felt. But I thought it'd be fun to just try stitching just a couple. We can pick together even, and then turn them into something useful for the holidays. So yeah, so that'll be starting tomorrow. I think we'll start with the ornament, and maybe we even wrap. We can do a wrapped ornament where we wrap fabric around the outside of the hoop. It makes it really decorative and pretty. So that'd be a fun way to use up some scraps as well. So yeah, I'll gather some scraps. We can pick an icon to do. I like the idea of it saying Merry and maybe 2020, or maybe we just say 2020, and then we just pick a little icon, like maybe the little Rudolph or something. That'd be kind of cute. Can't decide. You guys are gonna have to help me decide. All right, so that'll be starting tomorrow. Oh, Sylvia, I freaking love that idea. Okay, I'm gonna find a shirt and we're gonna do that too. Sylvia says that you could just stitch a little one of these on a lapel of John's shirt. I'm gonna see if I have a shirt sitting around. I would love to just stitch one of these guys onto a shirt. So I'm gonna find something to do that with as well. I think I have a green kind of plaid shirt. One of these would look like super cute on there, I think. Even just like a little bow on my shirt. Ooh, I love that idea. So we'll try and do a couple very small, fun projects like that starting tomorrow. So if you want to work with me, I do have the PDF bundle, or the PDF patterns of this, also the bundles that will be shipped. We can ship those out tomorrow. And you'll get the PDF pattern with that included. So you'll be able to work right away. I do really love this wreath. Anyway, so that sounds like three good projects that we should be able to do. We'll make a little ornament out of a small hoop like this. We have these in the shop too, the smaller hoops. We'll do some gift tags, or one gift tag, and then I do like the idea of stitching it onto a shirt. Like, these icons are the perfect size for that sort of detail. So that's that. I thought for the rest of the evening here, since this is just getting all full here, I thought we could press some of these and sew them together. So these are strips that I've been working on for my leader and ender. So you notice, like, when I was done sewing a row, I would sew one of these pieces on. Gosh, I still have a lot of these half square triangles. But these are actually going to be, they're part of I call it my magic quilt, because I'm making it out of nothing. This is old clothing. And I'm also sewing them as I'm sewing on other projects. So I've been making them into these blocks of 25, so rows of 5, and I think I have 10 of these here. I would love to press and get more of these together. So remember, I have a couple that I accidentally did the wrong direction, so 3. So I thought we could just get those in one too. So I'm gonna keep this super random, pretty much. So I wanna press these, and then we'll sew them into rows. Really, we could do that pinning process, but in this case, I'm gonna just sew right across. So let's just get 5 of these. Here, maybe we'll put a wrong direction one in this one. Okay, so I want to press them in opposite directions. So we'll just take this one, and this one, and we'll press them in one direction. This is going to clean up my area a little bit, plus we're going to get farther on the magic quilt. It's getting to the point where I should really lay this out on the floor again soon. I mean, I have 10. Well, 2 rows of 5. That's probably not that many. It'd still be nice to see again sometime. All right, so those are pressed in that direction. Let's hit them from the front too. So now I have not been caring at all like how good my seams are matching up or anything on this project. I mean, it's all old clothing. Every single one of these pieces of clothing stretch differently, and I might have cut them differently, so it's all wacky to begin with, so I'm not too worried about things being perfect. Alright, so those I pressed in wait, how did I do that? Alright, hold on, now I'm confused. Oh, okay, so those were all pressed to the right. Okay, so these ones I pressed to the left. Weird, I think I just flipped them up in a funny direction, because I thought I did it in this way. Oh, whoops, I pressed those in that direction too. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Ugh, man, I'm confusing myself. We're fine. Okay, good enough. Let's do this one. Man, when this project's done, I'll have to come up with some other leader and ender project. I mean, I'll still have all the clothes. I don't think I'll run out of that. Okay, we'll just flip these and start sewing them together, I guess. I think I'm going to sew the first 2 rows and then the last 2 rows, and then I'll be able to take the first one off and sew this guy to it. And then I guess we'll just put another leader on, because I haven't sewed the next round yet, or pressed the next round. All right, let's do it. Oh, this one has that funny one. That's the opposite direction. All right, like I said, I could spend time matching up those corners, those points with these points, like with the pin, and how I was really diligent about that last time with the Splendid Sampler project, but these I'm just going to sew. If nothing matches up, if I clip a bunch of corners, that's going to add to the charm of this quilt in particular. Scrappy quilt, looking all scrappy. I'm sure these seams won't completely match up all that well, but we're going to still do our best without getting too deep in it. Okay, so that's the first 2 rows. I'm going to click off this leader that we're working on yet. I'm going to get rid of this pin. He's gonna escape, I think. Let's get rid of him. All right. Sorry, I think I kicked you guys. All right, let's do the last 2 rows now. Oh, I suppose I was gonna oil and clean the machine now, but I'll just do that on my own. Happy with the new bobbin. Okay, so now I can take that first and second row off. See, the points are still not too shabby. That is a perfect point right there. So maybe we don't need the pins all the time. The pins are insurance, for sure. Okay, so let's get the third row on here. Then we can sew the whole thing together. Oh yeah, this bright blue is like some old Hawaiian shirt. Uh, it's a completely different fabric. It's some like light polyester something or another, and it stretches and moves way differently than the rest of this. But I think this is going to look like a really nice patchworky old like a quilt that you feel like you maybe found that's 70 years old or something, just from all this old clothing. Okay, let's get, this is the bottom row. I'm just gonna set that here so I don't lose the placement of it. And then I need to get this off the machine, so I am gonna just do another leader. I could actually be just starting another row, but I didn't press any of it yet. So we'll just do these one at a time for a few more minutes here. All right, how did we do that? And if they all get out of order, I don't care either. So, all right, so there's that. Let's flip this bottom row up. So I just make these little half square triangles until that until my little basket there gets too full, and I gotta do the next part of it, which is like what I'm doing now, or it gets too empty and I have to cut more clothing to the right size. This is going through a lot of seams as well. All right, let's get this other leader started. All right, let's give this a press, and we will have another block done. And we just got another row done, too. So I've just been not really paying too close attention to how I'm pressing it at this stage. I'm just going to press them down. Press the seam allowances down. Sorts of seam allowances on this. This kind of smells a little bit like old clothes. Not necessarily old clothes, but clothes that have been near fabric softener for a little and then have been released is kind of what it smells like. See, we got the one row in the wrong direction. I noticed last time when we counted through this that I was accidentally making a few rows the wrong direction. In my head, it could go any direction, but this would only work if we made it vertical, and that's not how all the other ones were made, so we just thought, instead of picking it out, it'll be fun with just a couple little blips. 3. I have 3 that are wrong now, so if I make all the rest of them correct, then there'll be 3 going in the opposite direction in the quilt when it's done, so you'll kind of have to search them out. Alright, that's looking good. So I just want to show you guys what this is looking like, though, too, because it really is kind of neat all together, because it's just going to look like a mass of, a real big mass of these half square triangles, right? So I kind of want them all in the same direction, except for those like little accidental ones that ended up being the other direction. But you can start to see it's just going to kind of be a blinding, like your eyeballs are going to fry a little bit because it's just kind of intense. But I love that they're all kind of mixed up and different. But yeah, so there you can kind of get a sense of what this will be like. Just like so many triangles. It's just going to look like thousands of these little half square triangles. There is an opportunity, like I could section them off with some sashing potentially. But, you know, I could also rotate some. So, you know, we could have them kind of in opposite directions, you know, like, and then maybe maybe like so, then we can kind of have like these flying geese happening, but I kind of like the idea of them just all the same direction, like it was a simple quilt that someone made a long time ago out of their scraps, and they just kept adding, they just kept going and going and going in the same way. I think there's just something really kind of neat and traditional about that. So, all right, so that is that one. I think we can probably get maybe one more done here. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the one we did tonight. I'm just going to put it within the stack. 5, 6, 7. And then let's just restack these two. 7, 8, 9. Ooh, look at this one. 10, 11. I must have ran out. Well, for sure, I know I ran out of some of these colors. Look, we even have another white in here. I don't have any more of that white. Okay, so we have 11. This is going to be fun. I'm going to want to lay all of these out. So let's just do another one with a wrong direction one, just to kind of get them out of our way. Let's have the wrong direction one on the top, just so it's different from the other one. I'm just grabbing whatever comes. Ooh, this one's kind of pretty. It looks nautical too, these half square triangles, which is kind of fun. Oh, I didn't press any of these, so I'm just going to press them one at a time. I was confusing myself before. So we'll flip and we'll go to the left. And actually, I can just flip this way and still go to the left. I think that's what I accidentally did before. It's easier for me to go to the left, but now it's actually opposite because I flipped them in a different direction. So if I flip from here to here, I can still go to the left. Flip back. This one flip up. So I'm just, the whole idea of pressing these in the opposite directions is because then we can bump the big fold that it makes. You know, all the fabric's on one side and only one piece of fabric's on the other side when you do this. So it makes like a bump. If the bumps are on the opposite sides, when you try and get the seams to go together, you can just put the two kind of bumps together, and your seam will kind of hook together, and that'll give you where the points and the seams all match up nice. Ooh, I did not press this one well. I'm not going to bother pressing on the front. Let's just sew. Zoop. Oh, let me just check. How many blocks do you need? Gina, I am not sure. This is a very, very much so see how it looks as I go project. It's literally me using up fabric and hopefully going to get a quilt out of it. I have no plan. Other than the little things we talked about. Ooh, did my thread just break? That was a weird sound just now. No, I think we're fine still. So I've just been thinking as I go. So one of those things thinking about was that I think I want all the triangles in the same direction. A previous time when we've looked at this, we kind of had them going in all different directions, and it looked pretty cool. It was like a weird, vibrating optical illusion, kind of, having them go in different directions, like rotating the squares so they weren't all the same. But I think I like it just plain triangles. I could break it up a little bit with sashing. Like I could sew 4 together and then put some sashing around it. But I don't know, I still think I like it one big mass of triangles. So I think that decision is probably made. As far as size, I don't know. I got tons of fabric still. That just doesn't seem to get smaller. So I'm not worried like, oh, what if I run out of fabric? And then I won't, get to the quilt size that I want. I am not even thinking about that because, I don't know, I just feel like the fabric never gets less. And I know I have another bin of old clothes in the basement that I can pull from. Even if I run out of the white, I bet you I can find some other white that's made out of old clothing that I have. So I'm not really worried about that. I think it'll be just a matter of laying them out on the ground, and when I think it's big enough, it'll be big enough. If I had to decide, I would say I'd like to shoot for maybe a nice big lap-size quilt. I think those just are always nice to have around. All right, I have that opposite one here. So I'm going to just get this is row 3. Bloop. And now it has a little bit extra interest now that we have those 3 rows that are going in the wrong direction. So there'll be little blips that, someone may or may not notice. It's just kind of neat because this is just like clothing, and I think this is a blanket that, are garbage basically. But I just decided to save it, and it's just been sitting in a plastic bin in the basement forever for in case I want to use it sometime. Am I doing this one backwards too? This one seems... I think I'm doing this one backwards too. Boo! Yeah, I was supposed to go this direction, I think. Oh well, we'll have 4 that are backwards, dang it. That sucks. I was trying not to do that. Oh well. That's fine. Okay. Oops, lost a clip again. That's our top row. Bottom. Oh yeah, that's a good way of describing it. Sally says it looks organic. Yep. Definitely letting it be what it's gonna be. I'm not being too, I'm not trying to match all the blues together or anything like that. And I guess maybe that's another reason why I just want all the triangles to stay in the same direction, because then that's one thing that is consistent, basically, because nothing else is really consistent. All the colors kind of move around, and it changes fabric a lot. But if all the triangles, it's just that one consistent design, then that's one thing that your eye can kind of settle itself on. So it's not too chaotic. Okay, so I'm supposed to do these there, like this, I think. Yeah, the big side flat and angling this way. Yep, okay. Hi, I don't want to get another one wrong. All right, let's snip off our block. All right, and we'll give this a press. We got that one in the wrong direction here. Getting those guys out of the way, because I've been setting them aside now, and that's just kind of annoying to keep track of. So I want to not do any more wrong, and just get them sewn into the blocks. I won't put them all next to each other in the quilt. We'll lay this out on the floor at some point again. All right, let's flip that around. Oh yeah, so it's mostly cotton. I guess someone was asking about what this fabric is. It's mystery cotton though, so it is clothing. So a lot of times clothes are not always 100% cotton anymore. They're mixed with other things. I think this is some flannel, which is most likely cotton, but again, it might have some sort of polyester or something in, who knows. And then there's that Hawaiian shirt that for sure is not cotton. That's some sort of weird polyester-y thing. So it's all different. But all in all, I am trying to use just like cotton shirts. So it's like, these are like men's shirts, like cotton men's shirts with the plaids. Those don't usually have a lot of stretch in, guys' shirts. And I think that's probably what most of this is. A few of them are my clothing, like these floral things, but I know that those were cotton as well. So I'm trying to stay away from stretchy stuff because it's just going to get all wonky. Oh, it is a little bit fuzzy. So I think this was from, a blanket probably from when I was like in the, when I was 10 or something probably. It is kind of a flannel thing. It's really pilly just because it's super duper old. It seems sturdy enough to be sewn into all these triangles though, but yeah, it's slightly different than these. So I think it was probably like a flannel blanket or something. I seem to have a lot of it. I thought it was a bathrobe, but I have so much of it that I'm like, this had to be a blanket. It's all kind of chopped up already, so I don't know what its earlier state was. But all right, we got 12 of these. We definitely have enough for another one. I'm going to just see how many we have. So one, and they just keep multiplying every time I sew something. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that would be another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we almost have one done on the machine. So we almost have enough for 4 more. But for now, I'm going to just let them rest in here. And I'm just throwing them there as I finish. I have a few more. This is how many half square triangles I have left. After that, we got to go back a step where we sew a light colored to a dark color. then we'll cut the diagonal, and then we'll get 2 of our half square triangles out of that. So this is a lot of processing. We got to cut it, we got to press them, and then we got to trim each one. It's a big pain, actually, to get them to this point. So it's been fun to just sew these pieces together from our ones that are already done. But wow, we did a lot of these because I got all of these, everything that we just did, out of that last time that we processed stuff. Last time we had to clean out this guy because it got too full of these ones. All right, that's just the basket that I have near me that I use all the time for this. Oh, and then the one that's wrong, I'm going to just, put sideways. All right, looking good. Couple little projects happening here tonight. That looks awfully cute in here. Like if we did a, half square triangle border around the block, that'd be pretty dang cute. Like I'm saying, this would be awesome enlarged. Like this could be a whole quilt right there. All right, so here is our block, our finished block. I just like how small these are. They're so cute. I think we don't have enough of these yet to start quilting. So every 4 blocks that I get done, sometimes we do more than 4, but I've been sewing them into sets of 4, and then those sets we've been quilting. So we're doing the quilt as you go process. So I'm actually quilting smaller squares like this, 4 of these, and then we're putting those quilted pieces together. So we're, I'm only like on block 55. We just finished block 55 of 100. However, those 55 blocks, or 54 of them or so, are all quilted already, and some of are even like sewn together. We have another row we could sew together soon. So we're a little further than we think, even though we're still barely halfway done with these blocks. All the quilting and all that's done. So we're skipping all the next part of the quilt process because we're doing it as we go, which is kind of fun. So all right, you guys, like I said, tomorrow we will work on the little ornaments and the gift tags, and I do want to stitch it onto a shirt. So I'll go find a shirt that we can stitch one of these guys onto as well. So we'll start that project tomorrow. Just sewing these little icon guys. So again, the patterns and the bundles are up in Penguin and Fish till the end of December. So at the end of December, we're turning off all of the embroidery of the months, and we'll start the new year of one at a time. So we brought back all of the whole year's worth just for December, but they'll all go away when we start January's again, which is so soon. It's crazy. It's going to be 2021. Let's hope it's a good one. Awesome. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening. Good night.